Welcome back to Unconventional Asians, where this time of the coronavirus series, we're going to talk about finance. I know this is a scary time and it might have affected a lot of people financially, myself included. And today we have our expert here, Kristy and Bryce, to teach us how to invest. Kristy was the youngest retiree in Canada when she reached financial independence at the age of 31, and Bryce was 32 at the time. They've lived a nomadic lifestyle for over 5 years, traveling to 50 countries in that time. They didn't have a trust fund or inherit any money from their parents. They used smart investment strategies to create a portfolio for them to live off of. They teach their exact strategies in their blog millennial-revolution.com for free. Their work has been featured in multiple news outlets such as the New York Times, CBC, BNN, Business Insider, just to name a few. Kristy also made an appearance in a documentary called Playing with Fire. As if that's not impressive enough, they also wrote a best-selling book called Quit Like a Millionaire, No Gimmicks, Luck, or Trust Fund Required. So what's the catch? Nothing, because you're already financially independent. Here is just a snippet of the 40 minutes long conversation that we had. If you want to watch that whole full-length episode, make sure you click that link above or in the description box below. So the golden question that everyone asks is it too risky to invest right now?
Well, I mean, like the same people that were emailing us just a few months ago were saying, "Oh, it's too risky to invest in the stock market. It's too expensive, and I can't get anything on. Like the valuations are too high. Is like I don't want to risk. I don't want to invest right now." Well, now it's famous last words, right? I mean, this is the kind of time in which you figure out whether you actually have what it takes to do this FIRE stuff and invest in and be able to invest in volatile times, because these kinds of events, they happen every, for us it's been like, 10 every 10 years now. There's always going to be like a big scary market crash, and if you panic when every time that happens, you're not going to be able to invest long term. If you can only stand a stock market when it's shooting up and to the right, yeah, well, that doesn't do that all the time, right? So
one of the things that made me really worry looking at the news is they said 42% of Canadians can't even go with having like 2 weeks without a salary. Like 2 bad weeks could destroy them, right?
Yeah.
And then they said something like 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved in their emergency fund. And that was terrifying, right? That's why I'm saying this is an opportunity and a wake-up call to look at your finances and figure out what's going on. Because if you're a FIRE person, even if the stock market crashed further and you got your portfolio cut in half, are you really one paycheck away from being homeless? No, like you still have your finances intact. You still have bonds that you can sell. You still have dividends and interest that's coming in. But for everybody else, that is not the case. I think that's where the immigrant mindset comes from.
Yeah.
The immigrant mindset
true.
is like, shit can hit the fan at any point. Doesn't matter how good things are right now. So I think that's very, very helpful.
It is.
Financial review and with planning. So
yeah.
Avoid the loan sharks and make sure you vet your financial advisor, because sometimes they're not there to help you. They tend to make it complicated on purpose, because if it was easy, then you wouldn't need them, right?
So what's been rather interesting is that this crisis on Airbnb for Airbnbs in the tourism industry has caused short-term rents to invert and actually be cheaper than long-term rents. And if people, so there's 2 ways this could play out in the Toronto housing market. One is the owners panic and they they dump a bunch of units onto the market, which will bring down. And if they all come out at the same time, or if they just like go bankrupt and foreclose, it'll cause a lot of like condo building units to be released onto the market and really bring down the condo prices, which is something that has happened long term. Or the second one is they could convert them into long-term rental units, which will have the same effect. If a whole bunch of them come on at once, it'll bring the rents down as well. So that would be an interesting thing to watch. I don't think anybody thought that a virus would be the thing that actually deflates the Toronto like housing costs.
I'm just gonna ask one last question to most of the guests that we interview. What does unconventional mean to you?
I think unconventional means not being afraid to be different. You were so happy when it was going up. What happens when the market is going down? And I still haven't changed my attitude. Like, that doesn't scare me. I have a very thick skin because of this whole unconventional thinking. If you live your life like that, you don't have to be affected by other people's unhappiness.
Remember, this video is just a small dose of good advice that Kristy and Bryce are giving us. Make sure you watch the full-length video that will be located in the link above or in the description box below. We also did actually a live interview with them in Bali, but that will be up for the next season when we start doing live interviews, when we can get out of this lockdown, and please stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos with unconventional Asians for our authentic conversations. Join our community at Unconventional Asians on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to hear more.